In this video, we'll go through exam questions that cover the Level 1 criteria, use simple formulae expressed in words for one or two step operations. You can locate the questions on the mathsmaths.com website under Level 1. The questions come from different exam boards. We'll start with the non-calculated questions and then we'll move to the calculated questions. Here's the first question. Alex is going to cook a chicken. He uses this rule to work out the total time needed to cook the chicken. Weight in kilograms, multiply by 45, add 20, gives you the total time needed in minutes. The weight of the chicken is 3 kilograms. Use the rule to find the total time needed to cook the chicken. Give your answer in minutes. So the weight is 3 kilograms. We're going to multiply that by 45 and then we're going to add 20 to the answer to get the total time in minutes. So the first step will be to work out 3 times 45 or 45 times 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. We'll put 5 down and won't carry it over. 3 times 4 is 12 and the 1 is 13, so 135. Now the next step is to add 20 to that. So 135, add 20, 5 and 0 is 5, 3 and 2 is 5, 1 and 0 is 1. So 155 minutes in total. Dennis thinks he is spending too much money on fuel for his car. He uses this formula to work out how much fuel in litres he uses in a year. We've got fuel used in litres is equal to distance travelled in miles times 4.5 divided by miles per gallon. Last year he travelled 10,000 miles. His car did 40 miles per gallon. How many litres of fuel did Dennis use last year? So we've got the distance travelled in miles, which is 10,000. So we're going to multiply that by 4.5 and then divide the answer by 40. So 10,000 times 4.5 or 4.5 times 10,000. We can do this without a calculator, and it's a case of moving the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 places to the right to make the number greater. So 4.5, we're moving the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So I'm going to remove it from here. And in this case, it's right at the end, so I'll fill the places with the zeros, and I don't even need to write the decimal point because this is a whole number. So we get 45,000. So that is this first step done. Now we need to divide by 40. So 45,000 divided by 40. How many 40s fit into 45? That's 1, and we have 5 remaining. How many 40s into 50? That's 1, and we have 10 remaining. How many 40s now into 100? That is 2, and we have 20 remaining because 100 take away 80 gives us 20. How many 40s into 200? That is 5 because 5 lots of 40 gives us 200. So the answer is 1,125. Janice wants to put border strips around 3 sides of a square lawn. The length of one side of the lawn is 14 meters. To calculate the number of strips she needs, Janice follows this rule. Number of border strips is equal to total length in meters divided by 3 times 2. Each border strip costs £9.89. Show an estimate of the cost of the required number of border strips. Show your calculations and the workings out here. So we've got the total length that is in meters, and that is 14 meters for one side, but we're looking at 3 sides. So 3 times 14 is the first step here, or 14 times 3. 3 times 4 is 12, so 2 down, 1 carried over. 3 times 1 is 3, and the 1 is 4. So that is 42 meters, the total length. And we're going to divide that by 3 and then multiply by 2. So we've just multiplied 14 by 3 to give us 42. So 42 divided by 3 will be 14. It's reversing the process. So now we've got the 14, we need to double that. So 14 times 2. Two times 4 is 8, 2 times 1 is 2, so 28. That's the number of border strips. Each border strip costs £9.89. We've got to estimate, not give an exact answer. So we can round £9.89 to £10. So 28 strips, £10 each. So 28 times 10, that is 280, adding a 0 at the end, so £280. Kylie wants to hire a hall for the party. The charge for hiring the hall is worked out using this formula. Charge is equal to £50 plus £30 times the number of hours it's hired for. Kylie's charged £140 for hiring the hall. For how many hours does she hire the hall? So Kylie is charged £140, a cost which is made up of this fixed amount, that is £50, on top of £30 per number of hours that the hall is hired for. 30 times number of hours that we don't know. So that's what we're going to work out. So we're going to reverse the process. She was charged £140. £50 was on top of the £30 per hour. So if I take away £50, that gives me £90. So that is the cost for the number of hours that the hall was hired for. Now £30 per hour, that means that the hall was hired for 3 hours. So 90 divided by 30 gives us 3 hours. From now on we can use a calculator. Ryan will drive his car in Spain. The speedometer in the car shows the speed in miles per hour only. He will be driving on a road with the speed limit of 100 km per hour. Ryan uses this rule to find this speed in miles per hour. Got kilometers per hour, divide by 8, multiply by 5, gives us miles per hour. Ryan thinks that 70 miles per hour is the same as 100 kilometers per hour. Is Ryan correct? We can do this in 2 different ways. We could start with the number of kilometers per hour, which is given to us. That's 100. And we divide that by 8, then multiply the answer by 5, and see whether that matches the 70 miles that we've got. Or we could start with the 70 miles. Instead of multiplying by 5, we divide by 5, so we reverse the process, and then that answer we multiply by 8 and see if that matches the 100 kilometers that we have. Either way is absolutely fine. I'm going to use the first one, so 100 divided by 8 gives us 12.5 times 5 gives us 62.5. So that is not 70. So we're going to say Ryan is not correct. But first we need to show the working out. So 100 divided by 8 times 5 gives us 62.5 miles per hour. So we're going to say no, he's not correct. And we've shown the working out. If you use the other method, then you do with the calculator 70 divided by 5 times 8, and that wouldn't be 100, so same thing, you'd say no, he's not correct, and show the working out. Right, so no, it's 62.5 miles per hour. It's very important we write the final answer in the box provided. Joanne is buying a pair of shoes in Europe. The length of her foot is 27.5 centimeters. Joanne uses these rules to work out her European shoe size. Length in centimeters divided by 2.5 gives the length in inches. Length of foot in inches times 3 add 8 gives the European shoe size. Joanne thinks her European shoe size is 38. Is Joanne correct? Show why you think this. Okay, so length in centimeters, that is 27.5. We're going to divide that by 2.5 to give us the length in inches. So 27.5 divided by 2.5 gives us 11 inches. Now, length of foot in inches, that is 11. We're going to multiply that by 3 and we're going to add 8. So 11 times 3 is 33. Add 8 to that gives us 41. I'm just going to repeat that here within the box just to be on the safe side. It equals 41. So we're going to say no, Joanne is not correct. It's size 41. And we've shown the working out. Natasha is designing a building with a restaurant on the top floor. She needs to know how long it will take for a total of 40 people to travel in a lift from the ground floor to the restaurant. Natasha uses this formula. Total number of people to travel, multiplied by 79, divided by 8, gives the time to travel in seconds. Natasha thinks it will take more than 6 minutes for a total of 40 people to travel in the lift from the ground floor to the restaurant. Is Natasha correct? Show why you think this. So the total number of people to travel, that is 40. We're going to multiply that by 79 and divide it by 8 to give us the time to travel in seconds. So 40 times 79 divided by 8 gives us 395. That is the time in seconds, and we've got to convert it into minutes. So we can divide it by 60 to see what we get. So 395 divided by 60 is 6.583. 3 is recurring. So what we did there was 395 divided by 60, and it gave us this. So this tells us it's more than 6 minutes. So this decimal, 6.5833 and so on, tells us that it's more than 6 minutes. So Natasha thinks it will take more than 6 minutes, and that is correct. She's correct. Which in fact I should write here. Yes, it takes more than 6 minutes. The age of a young garter snake can be estimated using this rule. Length of snake in centimeters, subtract 12, divide by 15, gives us the age of snake in years. An adult garter snake is about 72 centimeters long. What age is a garter snake when its length is 72 centimeters? So length of snake in centimeters is 72. We're going to take away 12, divide the answer by 15, and that should give us the age of snake in years. So 72, take away 12, gives us 60. Divide that by 15, gives us 4. In 2018, the average winter temperature in Svalbard was -4 degrees Fahrenheit. In 2019, this increased by 9 degrees Fahrenheit. Amina wants to work out the average winter temperature in 2019 in degrees Celsius. She uses this rule. Temperature in degrees Fahrenheit, subtract 32, multiply by 0.6, gives you the temperature in degrees Celsius. What was the 2019 average winter temperature in degrees Celsius? So it's 2019 that we're interested in. So first of all, we need to work out the average winter temperature for 2019. And we can use the 2018 temperature, which is -4, and we've got an increase by 9 degrees Celsius. So we're going to add 9 to that. So you can imagine the temperature or thermometer being there's 0, and we have -1, -2, -3, -4 being here. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So it's increased by 9 degrees from -4. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it goes to 5 degrees Celsius. So that's the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to subtract 32 and we're going to multiply the answer by 0.6. So using a calculator, I'll do 5, take away 32, which gives us -27. I'm going to multiply that by 0.6 and it gives us -16.2 degrees Celsius, that is. A gardener needs to order fertilizer for a piece of land. The piece of land is a square with sides measuring 8 meters. This formula shows how many grams of fertilizer she needs. We've got grams of fertilizer needed is equal to length in meters times width in meters times 25. Which bag of fertilizer should the gardener order? Include figures to explain your answer. Show all your work in. So we've got length and the width being 8 meters because the piece of land is a square. So 8, 8. So to work out the number of grams of fertilizer needed, we're going to multiply 8 by 8 and multiply the answer by 25. And we can use a calculator to do that. So 8 times 8 times 25 gives us 1,600 grams. Now you should know that there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. The clue is in the word kg. K we use to mean 1,000, so kg means 1,000 grams. So 1,600 grams, that is going to be 1.6 kilograms. In other words, you can divide 1,600 by 1,000 and it gives you 1.6 kilograms. So which of these bags? It should be the 2 kilograms bag, because it's enough and not too much. Obviously, there is no point in buying a 5 kilogram or 10 kilogram bag, because that would be too much more than needed. And at the same time, a 1 kilogram bag won't be enough. The formula below can be used to calculate interest on a savings account after 1 year. Amount put into account times interest rate as a decimal. A woman puts £2,500 into an account. The interest rate is 5%. What will be in the account after 1 year? Show your working. So to calculate the interest on the savings account, we will multiply the amount put into the account, which is £2,500, by the interest rate as a decimal. That is 5%, that is 0.05 as a decimal. Remember, 5%, 5 pence. So 2,500 times 0.05 gives us £125. Question is, what will be in the account after 1 year? So that needs to include the initial investment, which is 2,500, and we'll add to that £125, which is the interest. So adding these together gives us £2,625. Ben and Joe work out how much money they can borrow. Ben earns an average of £538.50 a week. Joe earns £2,725.50 a month. They have been told to use this formula to work out the maximum amount of money they can borrow. Total amount of money is equal to 3.5 times Ben's yearly wage plus 3.5 times Joe's yearly wage. They think they will be able to borrow more than £250,000. Are they correct? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So we've got to work out Ben's yearly wage and Joe's yearly wage first. If Ben earns an average of £538.50 a week, then we need to multiply that by 52 to get the yearly wage. So 52 times £538.50, which is £28,002. Now, Joe's yearly wage, we've got paid per month, so we're going to multiply that by 12. So 12 times 2,725.50 gives us 32,706. Now we can put these into the formula. So 3.5 times 28,002 plus 3.5 times 32,706 98,007 plus 114,471 Adding these two together now gives us 212,478. Is that more than £250,000? £500,000 is 500,000, £250,000 is 250,000. This is less than 250,000. So we're going to say no. And we've shown the proof for that. Personal finance. You can use these steps to work out the amount of income tax you pay each month. Step 1. Work out monthly salary minus 987.5. Step 2. Work out answer to step 1 divided by 5. Joe has a salary of 24,000 per year. Helen has a salary of 1,720 per month. How much more income tax does Joe pay than Helen each month? So let's work it out for Joe first. 24,000 per year, but we need the monthly salary. So what we're going to do is 24,000 divided by 12 first. Which is 2,000. And we need to take away 987.5 from that. Which is 1,012.5. Now we've got to divide that answer we just got by 5. So 1012.5 divided by 5. So here is my previous answer. Divide that by 5 gives us 202.5. Now let's work it out for Helen. We've got the monthly salary, so we can just go 1,720 minus 987.5 gives us 732.5. Now we're going to divide that by 5. So 732.5 divided by 5. I've got that answer here, so I'm just going to go divide by 5. 146.5. So how much more income tax does Joe pay than Helen each month? Now we need to do 202.5 take away 146.5. So 202.5 take away 146.5 gives us 56. So that is £56 more. Beth earns pocket money by doing jobs at home after school. Sandra uses this formula to work out how much money Beth receives each week. Weekly pocket money is equal to £2.50 times number of jobs done plus £5. Beth wants to buy a pair of trainers for £7. She saves her pocket money for 3 weeks. She did 5 jobs in the first week, 9 jobs in the second week, 10 jobs in the third week. Is this enough to buy the trainers? You must show your working. So we could do it week by week. So for the first week, she's done 5 jobs. So week 1, £2.50 times number of jobs is 5 plus the £5. So £2.50 times the 5, 12.5 plus 5 gives us 17.5. Week 2, £2.50 times 9 plus the £5. So 2.5 times 9 equals 22.5 plus 5 gives us 27.5. Week 3, £2.50 times 10 plus 5. Which is 30. So adding all of these together now, 30 plus the 27.5 plus the 17.5 gives us £75. The trainers cost £70, so is this enough to buy the trainers? We're going to say yes. And this is the end of the questions.